Alrighty, welcome back to High on the Hog. I'm your host Sawyer Dillinger, alongside my dad, co-host John Dillinger, and we got another episode for you today. Sit and spit from the house. I lied to you last episode, so
Yeah, so the reason why we're not live from the stadium, we were actually in Fayetteville, arrived around midnight at our hotel and got checked in and things of that nature. And then about 2:30 in the morning, got what you never want to get, got a phone call from home. We had a relative of ours pass away unexpectedly. And so Sawyer and I packed up and we drove straight back and got back to T Town around I don't know
eight,
8 o'clock,
8 o'clock in the
8:30
morning.
this morning, and then we just spent some time with our family and did all those things, and then tried to lay down, got a little bit of rest, and got up and watched
Yeah.
the ball game. So
Yeah,
I'll say
no sleep.
this this episode. I want to, honor Angela Roberts. She was a beautiful person, and she'll be missed. And so, she had a kind of a rough life, but she was a beautiful person, and we're gonna miss her. So
Yeah, she's better now.
she's definitely in a better place.
How old was she?
She was around your mom's age. She's a little bit older. Me and her have similar birthdays. Mine's January 7th. Angela's is January the 10th or 13th, somewhere in there. And so she is about 6 months older than mom. So she was
45, 46.
5 and would be 46 her next birthday. So
Okay.
died way too young.
Yeah, well. All right. Well, other than that, let's get into it. But well, from one somber note to another, I mean, it doesn't
Really?
get much.
It's weird how you got a double-digit victory and you feel like you
Yeah,
lost the football game.
felt like we lost by 30. Yeah, I don't know. We started off super duper slow. It was looking like we might get blown out by Birmingham. I mean, and I honestly I underestimated them. I think Arkansas did too. I mean, I said what 52-6 or 52-3
I
or
think
something.
You said 50. You said 50 something to 3. I said 50 something to 7 or whatever. We were both.
Yeah, very
bad
wrong. Very wrong. But I
nobody expected that. Today, though.
nobody expected that, but I'll say this. They hung 21 on Georgia last year, so I think I kind of just looked over them a little bit too
Yeah,
much.
I did too. They are, and I think what I looked over more than anything was their defense. I thought with them being third in the nation in passing defense, I just assumed that it was probably because people were just keying on the run and wasn't even trying to throw on them. But it's not true. They've got a very good passing defense. They shut Taylor
Yeah.
Green down.
He didn't look good today
No, not at all.
at all.
Horrible start. At one point, he was 0 for 5. I
And
don't know what that got up to.
yeah,
Um,
I was saying stupid stuff. I was like, we need to put Malachi in and just get something going. But Taylor's the man. He's the starter for a reason. So
he needs to get it figured out. He was
Yeah.
11 of 26 for an
wow.
atrocious 42%. Threw for 161 yards. He was not accurate. Also, his receivers were dropping wide open passes. I remember the one freshman receiver hit him in the hands and then the face, and then fell. The
Yeah.
ball falls incomplete.
Andrew Armstrong had a couple that hit his hand as well.
And he's usually money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's by
off
far and
day,
away the best.
I think our team overlooked.
Exactly. And it was adamant that they did. I don't know if y'all watched. There was a press conference where I'm wanting to say it was Trey Biddy or Charlie Kirk or one of the Hog Media.
Charlie Kirk.
Otis
Kirk?
Otis Kirk, yeah, Charlie
Kirk.
Charlie
That'd be
Kirk.
awesome.
Yeah. I wish he was a Hog fan, but no.
He need to call them
Yeah.
Hogs.
But no, I don't want to say the name because I don't exactly know who said it. But one of them asked the press conference with Jaquindon Jackson and Andrew Armstrong if they seen anything on UAB on their defense where they were a little worried or anything, and they straight up laughed at it. Like they looked at each other and started cackling up, and
And
they
it
weren't laughing
showed they weren't
very.
ready to play.
They weren't laughing very long. I
From
can
the
tell you
opening
that.
possession, UAB started punching them in the mouth,
Ran it down our throat.
running
Honestly,
the football. They showed, and that's the thing when you're playing Division I football. Even the bad teams, even the low level teams, there's still D1 athletes
yeah,
on that
they're
team.
taking the
So
best of high schools.
if they have their best day and if they have a good game plan, like when I look at this ball game, we got out coached, out schemed,
Outplayed.
outplayed. What the reason we won is because we had superior athletes at the end
Exactly.
of the day. We out talented them.
Yeah,
And we were
that
able
and
to,
that was the only thing that we outdid them.
yeah. So where was our defense? We couldn't tackle,
At all.
couldn't cover.
I mean, we're sitting there. Jacob Zeno's not a rushing quarterback, I don't think, by any means. And he was, I think it was him at the end, their last touchdown, where he just took off the left side, and we ran with him, holding him,
Yeah,
trying to get
just
the ball
trying to
out,
strip the
won't
ball.
tackle him, and he ran an extra 10 yards or so to get the touchdown. It was pitiful.
All he has to do, and I think that's the play right there. They're showing on the highlights
Yeah.
right there. All he has to do is just carry him out of bounds, and it's down at the 3. Well, instead, he just, like you said, just tries to strip, and he just shoves him off and gets in the end zone. We might can hold him there. You might can do a goal line stand. I don't even care if it was probably second down, whatever it was. Don't matter. If it was first, if they just got a first down, you can do a goal line stand.
Regardless, tackle the
Hope,
freaking guy.
Worst case scenario, maybe hold them to a field goal.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It was pitiful. All
Everything
special
looked bad.
teams. I don't remember any bad snafus. There wasn't any muffed punts or kick returns that I remember. Oh,
Yeah.
well, we had that one where we brought it out and only got to like the 13 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was a dumb decision. Our kicker, Ramsey, I'm surprised he got all the kicks, but what was he, 3 of 4 today or 2 of 3?
Still not what I would like him to be, I'll tell you that.
I know he was 1 of 3 last week. Seems like he was either 2 of 3 or 3 of 4 today. So he had a better day, much better day. He only missed 1.
But still,
yeah, but
the ones
still
he's
wanna make
making, he's
those.
barely making though. Is the
they're all
problem?
scary.
They're all. I mean, they could go either way. It looks like, and so I don't know how I want to know how terrible Shipley is for them to keep putting Ramsey in over. I mean, I don't know, and. I mean, the guy's got a family, so I don't want to sit there and
with a kicker
dog
is
on him.
you
But
want-
golly, man, he's terrible.
You want to build confidence in him. And so they stuck with him today. Last week I criticized him because he missed the first one, and then when we should have been kicking, we didn't. We went for it, didn't get it. I said you should have put him back out there, let him kick. Today, obviously they felt like he's the better kicker, so they stuck with him, and it was good. He went, 2 or 3 or 3 or 4, did much better. So, but he does need to clean it up. I don't know if it's a snap issue, if it's a alignment issue, but he definitely is not making them straight down the middle.
Not at all. And so yeah, that's worrisome, especially coming off of Cam Little. We were so spoiled. I mean, we had to have been the most spoiled fan base in college football with Cam Little.
Kicker wise, anyway.
Yeah.
There's a spam bill. I was making me hungry. When you look at the stat sheet, it's almost like the opposite of last week. When you look at the stat sheet last week, you would think Arkansas won this game. When you look at the stat sheet, it's not as I said to you before we come on camera that if I was UAB, I wouldn't even be happy about this.
Yeah.
They got paid $1.5 million or more to come in, and they should have won the ball game.
Yeah, had a very good chance.
But they should take and build upon this.
Yeah,
They've
this
got a
was
good
a
football team.
I mean, they
got-
haven't won an SEC game, a game against an SEC opponent since the year I was born in 2004. So, I mean, to come this close and to outplay a group of four, or not group of four, a Power Four conference team like the Razorbacks, that's impressive. I mean,
It just goes to show. All right, I don't.
any given day.
So the jury is still out on the Hogs. There was one thing settled for me today. The Hogs cannot be a great team. They're not a great team.
Mm-mm.
They could still be a terrible team. We literally could lose, you know.
The rest of our schedule.
Yeah,
almost.
what do we got? 9 games left. I mean, we could go 0-9. I doubt it. We could go 2-7. We could be a bad team.
Yeah.
We can't be a great team. That football team that played today and that choked last week can't be a great team. So I think best case scenario, we can still be a good team. We can still go what I predicted at 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good team. That's not a great team.
No.
What did you predict?
8-4.
8-4. So they can still do what we said. I would say even 7-5. They're not going to be a 9-10 win team. There's no way.
Unless we win a bowl game.
Well, yeah, I'm counting regular season.
Yeah.
Looking down the stat sheet, we did out produce them in total yards, 427 to 354. We outrushed them. You know, Talon couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a pass.
It was
but the rushing game was still there.
ridiculous.
Offensive line is still playing good. You know, those are all good things.
I don't think Talon Green, I'll be honest, I don't think he was completing those passes if no one was guarding them. It didn't look like he could throw
way
backyard
overthrowing.
football.
Yeah.
15 feet above these people it looked like. I mean, and credit to UAB, they came out with a game plan with a chip on their shoulder, and they came out and outperformed Arkansas. Jacob Zeno looked impressive today.
Called it. You called. I was noticing when I was watching the game, all the guys you called out in the pregame, you had them pegged. You know, they got some good ball players on their team.
Jacob Zeno went 23 for 32, and I think he was 21 for 26, and Talon was like 8 for 24 at one point, and it was, pitiful. But 23 for 32. I'm not sure what the
11 for 26 for Talon.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the pass percentage is on the
72%
for him.
For their quarterback.
Okay,
42 for ours.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, and he threw an interception, but he threw 3 touchdowns. That is 3 times the amount that Talon Green threw. And so Jacob Zeno, he looked really good today. I've got to give it to him. He outperformed Talon Green by, it was obvious. It was like that is a much better quarterback if you just looked at this one game.
Rushing wise, we rushed for 288. They rushed for 126. First downs, we had 29 first downs. They had 22 first downs. I don't know what our third down percentage is. I don't have that stat. I think we were leading the country.
Yeah, we're pretty good at third
down last time. So we got 29 first downs. So obviously we did pretty good there again today. 18 of the first downs was rushing, only 6 passing. And that's typically much more even there.
Yeah. But when you can't pass, you've got to rush. So, and we
only
could
had
not.
64 plays this game.
Really?
Yeah. And I know the first game we had like 90. Last week we had high 80s. It feels like. So it was a much different paced game.
UAB had the ball a lot.
Yeah.
They were just
what was the time
going
of
down
possession?
drives.
You got that stat?
I might be able to. Maybe.
I just pulled up a single stat sheet.
Maybe
here.
not.
Yeah, it should be on that one.
Possession 32 minutes. Yeah, they had. 5,
it was
6.
Fairly even, but they had it more than us, and that should never be the case.
No, especially against a group of 6
The
opponents.
only time that should be the case is if we're scoring quick. You know, and we wasn't at all.
At all. Could not. I can't believe it because Talon Green was second in the SEC, like 11th in the nation for passing yards. He might be, he won't be top 50, it don't feel like, because, what an atrocious day for Talon Green, and that's worrisome against a UAB opponent, because we've got a slate to play this year.
All those high top 10, we shot all that today. We were top 10 in scoring with 50.5. We only scored 37. We were number 2 in passing. We had an atrocious day passing. We were number 1 in third down. I don't know how we fared there. I didn't have the percentage on third down. What else were we top 10 at? It seemed like there was rushing. We were number 4 at, and I didn't see what I think our rushing, that's rushing defense. We were number 4.
Okay.
And we probably did good there because they threw more against us than they did rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to see a lot of those stats. But none of that matters. To me, the only stat that matters is we're 2-1. But still, somehow,
it's a bitter
even though
2-1.
Win, it just didn't. It don't feel like it.
Especially because it'd be different if last week we blew Oklahoma State out of the water and just had
or just won the game because we should have won the game. If we won by 1, I'd felt great about last week.
Yeah, and it'd be much different. We'd be having a different outcome of this game because maybe we just had you could say, well, they just looked over them and they're getting prepared for Auburn. I don't know. It just looked like we got outperformed in every aspect today, and that's worrisome because we play in the SEC, we play in the NFL of college football, and I mean we could go 8-4. Like I can't say we can go 10-2 or we can go 2-10. We can go 8-4. I could see, and here's the thing: Arkansas played atrocious today, but if you look at the rest of the SEC. Bar a couple teams, everybody's not doing good this year. It's weird. I mean, Texas A&M, they lost to. Let me get this right. Notre Dame.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. So they lost to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame lost to some no-neck team, Boston College maybe or somebody like that.
No, they lost in Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois. Yeah. And
Huskies.
Auburn, they were getting. They haven't played good.
Auburn's terrible.
They're terrible. Texas A&M was playing Florida and somewhat decently close. I don't know what the end of that game was, but they were only up by a touchdown or two, and Florida's
Auburn
awful.
is in a nail-biter right now, 17-10.
With
New Mexico.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, Auburn's atrocious. Tennessee's been doing pretty good.
Toledo is beating Mississippi State 14-0.
Wow. Oh, my. I mean, I know Mississippi State's bad, but that is rough.
Missouri took them a huge fourth-quarter comeback. They were getting destroyed by Boston College.
That's
come back and
that excites me
6
because even though I'm not in on the rivalry, I want to beat them bad this year because I mean, rightfully so. They can say whatever they want to us. They beat us every year we play them.
Missouri.
And so they didn't do good, but Boston College might just be a great team because they beat FSU, which everybody has.
Memphis takes them down. I called that. You did too.
Yeah.
0-3. That's hilarious. Florida State's one of those teams I love to hate. They think there's.
I mean,
put them in there with
cried
Notre
last
Dame
year
and
about
USC
college
and
football
Texas
playoffs and.
Ohio
next
State,
year you don't even lose many people and you go 0-3.
All these blue bloods that they don't play anybody.
They're
play
3
in the SEC and do that, and then we'll say you did something.
Yeah, I mean,
Texas is
0-3 and out of conference play is something that I would fire my coach over. That's atrocious.
So how do you think what do you think of the coaching staff, how they did today? What was your assessment of?
I'm hoping to God that we just looked over UAB. I'm hoping
you can't as coaches though.
That's what I have a problem with because you've got to as coaches get the team prepared. But I'm just hoping that they did. I mean, I pray. I pray to God.
Bad. Pittman did bad.
Bobby Petrino, it's like you can't say he did bad.
Well,
Taylor Green sucked it up.
The execution was poor.
He was calling great plays that should work wide open. He's getting Armstrong wide open all the time. The Russians working, so he's calling good plays. He just can't get Taylor Green to do what he wants, and you can see a big difference between Bobby Petrino coaching a couple years ago, getting irate at everything, and now Taylor comes on the sideline. He's like, hey, you gotta do this. No, he needs to get on Taylor Green's butt and chew him out because that's atrocious.
Let me kind of take back a little bit on what I said about T. Will and the defense. I do got to keep in mind we were down 2 starting defensive backs, and they threw the ball on us.
It wasn't Russian that they did too.
So
except for the first half.
Maybe we can use that as an excuse. A legitimate excuse, and I can give them some slack there, but the defense didn't tackle good. They didn't look like they were fired up to play. We're not getting pressure on the quarterback
At all. Landon Jackson is like, it's hurting my feelings. He's not doing anything. He almost had a sack.
He almost killed a man.
And while we're thinking about it, I want to say prayers for the UAB player because that looked bad.
Yeah.
That did not look good. I mean,
that was.
He got his first off, Xavier Sorey. I don't know if it was just him who did it. We took their helmet off. It has to be a Guinness World Record for how many helmets came off in the game today.
I think that was part of their game plan. They're like, all right, we're going to loosen our chin straps. And
see if we can get some flags.
Every time their hand just brushes close to our face, we're going to try to get a face mask penalty.
But the play where that guy looked like he died, Xavier Sorey grabbed his helmet, took it off, threw it to the side, and then the first guy hits him and his helmet hits his head, and then they spike him into the ground head first. And so I'm worried about him. I hope that first off, football aside, I hope he's okay for good. Like, I hope it's not a life-altering injury, but I hope it's not a season-ending injury because there's nothing more worse than practicing hard all off-season and getting excited, and then before you even get to start your conference games that you get out. I mean, because I know I'm going through it in my fantasy league because Christian McCaffrey has decided to just ruin my whole season early on. But jokes aside, prayers to him because that looked bad, and you never want to see that for any team, not even dirty Texas. So
we got Auburn coming up. It's a toss-up on that,
I don't think so.
We're going to be at Auburn.
I don't care.
In the Plains.
I think we beat them by 40.
Depends on what team shows up.
Nah, realistically, I do think we'll win the game, and I think we'll win it by 2 or 3 touchdowns. I just think that Arkansas's got to coach like their hair's on fire. Get these players ready for conference.
We got to do our pregame.
Yeah. We need to fix some stuff up. First off, we've got to learn how to tackle players. That was a problem. Could not tackle a dummy, it looked like, on the field.
Looked like a bunch of dummies.
Taylon Green, he better go to an arcade today and just do that game where you're throwing straight at circles because you need to figure out how to throw the football, my friend. Offensive line looked good. Taylon Green, I think he only got sacked maybe one time. So our offensive line's doing good. No complaints for them. They opened up the holes for the rushing when we couldn't do anything on passing, and Taylon Green had time to pass. So offensive line, we can take that away. Our offensive line's really good. Defensive line, they were putting pressure on the quarterback. It's just, when you're out 2 starters and 2 really good starters, you kind of open yourself up for some errors. So, guys, I think we'll be okay. It's just so hard to keep saying it every week. You shouldn't have to say it against a game like this. You shouldn't have to say that we'll be fine.
Yeah, it was easy, just like we thought. But anyways, here's the deal: we got to win.
We did.
Let me throw.
I'd rather have a rough win than a bad loss.
Yeah, any kind of loss. So I'm gonna give some shout outs. The Hogs for winning. Truman got the victory in football last night.
Yep, beat the Battle of the Ridge or Battle for the Ridge. Routed them.
Throw a shout out to our number 1 fan, Dill Cease. He's commented on every video,
every post.
Dill, you know who you are.
Appreciate you very much.
All of our guys that's watching and everybody that's subscribed and liking. Make sure you do all that.
Share it with people.
Share it on your social media, and help us build up a little community here.
Having a great time doing this, guys, and I've talked to you about not even just hog stuff. I've always wanted to start something with you just so that we, because I think when I get older, I can always look back on stuff like this, and I think it's going to be special to me. But
you thinking about me dying, ain't you?
Yeah, no, hold on. Anyways, no, yeah, this is a lot of fun for me. So I appreciate you guys very much for watching and stuff, and just continue supporting us. It means a lot. And sorry we weren't at the game today, but family matters more than football. So
that's right.
We'll be. I promise you guys. Well, I don't want to promise you, but we'll be at a game. I'm hoping to God we go dominate Ole Miss when we go there because we go there every year. I'm sure we will again. I'm sure we'll go to Missouri because we always get taken out there from shelter. So Um,
And this episode of High on the Hog is brought to you by Shelter Insurance, Dillinger
yeah,
Insurance Agency in Harrisburg.
we gonna get an
Licensed in
emblem
Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri. Give me a call. We'll
wherever
get
you need your
fixed up.
insurance from. Just hit up Dillinger Agency, Shelter Insurance, proud sponsor of the High on the Hog podcast. And but yeah, guys, we'll be all right. Auburn, let's go dominate. Let's go show who Arkansas is, and we need a comeback game. So be looking forward to the Auburn preview. We'll get that out next week. And yeah, you got anything else for them?
Jesus saves.
Thank you. God bless. Go Hogs. Way pig.